Hello again, this is Foucault back with part two of my mid-stakes six max video focusing on note taking. I actually just realized I didn't take this note on Rodia quite as specifically as I should have. I want to specify here that he four-bet called ace queen off cutoff versus button. Presumably he's not going to do the same thing under the gun versus under the gun plus one, for instance. Second time we've seen Chris three bet. That time it was out of his small blind. But what that means, if he's starting to shape up as though he might be kind of an aggressive three better, and one big implication of that is that I can't play as many hands on the cutoff as I otherwise would, because I have to deal with the possibility of getting three bet by the button, which is a very difficult thing to play against, especially if your hand is weak to begin with. So I really, my goal is if he is an aggressive three better, my goal is going to be to um, just have a tight enough range for raising the cutoff that like enough of the time that I get three bet, I have the stronger hand. I'm ahead of his three betting range, and I have a hand that can play well by four betting or playing post flop. Kind of interesting here, hand shaping up here on the right. Um, I'm curious to see the results here. I do think I want to. I mean, I'm far enough, even with the general, being, as I said, a little bit of a tighter player and not having some reason to think that he might not get it in super light pre-flop again. I still think ace queen suited, versus a button raise is a little too strong, um, not to three bet it. I feel like he might have called me a little loose there. It's kind of just based on his timing and the fact that he couldn't call that flop. You know, I think if he has a pocket pair, or if he has ace X, which are like the two best hands to be calling a three bet with, then I think he's gonna call a bet on that flop. And so the fact both that he snap called me pre-flop, and that he wasn't able to call a single bet on a dry ace high flop tells me he was probably calling pre-flop maybe a little bit lighter than he should be. Um, So I mean, this is a tentative note to make, but I'm going to say that he might be calling a little bit light when he three bets his button.